This week on the PRESSURECAST, the FTC rules Machinima Deceptive, Uncharted 4 gets a release date, and the PlayStation 1 turns 20. Plus, impressions of Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, Mad Max, Grow Home, and Danganronpa, another episode, Ultra Despair Girls. It's Monday, September 7th, 2015. Everything happening in the world of video games is here, now, on the PRESSURECAST. Hey, Pressure Pals, welcome to the 94th episode of the PRESSURECAST, VideoGamesAreDumb.com's weekly news panic that posts every single Monday on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, and TuneIn Radio. My name is Colin Terry. Wait a minute, no, it also appears on ShepherdExpress.com. That's America's longest running independent newspaper.
Wow.
You think I'd remember this?
Nah.
I do it every single week, and I never get it right.
I think you're getting in the habit of not doing it right.
Yeah, that's the thing. You get into bad habits. You know what? So I remember his teacher one time
Like
told
smoking.
me, yeah, like smoking or
Chewing your nails.
yeah, or texting while driving. I remember this one music teacher I had. I said, "Oh, practice makes perfect." He was like, "No, perfect practice makes perfect." I was like, "Damn, son."
Why don't you just put another perfect in there somewhere, dude?
Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
Put Kurt Hennig in there. That's my name is Colin Tanner, and I am your host, as always, drinking 2 coffees, and across from me, Justin, Mr. Perfect Engelbart.
I'm the handsomest man in show business.
That's Steve, and Steve is not here today, and as you can tell, we're recording in a different studio than usual, and that's because we're hiding from Steve, and hopefully he hasn't discovered yet that we're not at the studio.
We're on the 53rd floor this week.
Yeah.
I hope he's not listening to this.
Oh, he's going to listen sooner or later. No, Steve's actually in Michigan.
Northern Michigan?
He's in Michigan. That's
Which
all
part
I know.
of Michigan is he?
I don't know. I texted him. I said, "You want to do the show?" And he said, "Oh, I'm in Michigan."
I went home to Michigan.
Oh, Michigan! I'm hanging out with the Michelin Man.
Let's see. Where's my best Steve impersonation? Sorry guys, I was in Michigan.
That's Steve?
Yeah, that's Steve.
Wow. Okay.
All
well, folks, we have so much news to get to this week, but we always like to start off the show with a segment we call "Thank You for the Email."
Thanks.
This week, it's thank you for the email. Nobody, because nobody wrote in. But I have designed a system in which I will read an email even if no one writes in.
It's a foolproof system.
This email comes from Brett.
Oh, Brett.
Yeah, from
Our old friend Brett.
Tokyo. Sure. Hey, Colin and Justin, and not Steve in Michigan.
Wow.
Well, this guy had some advance
He
notice.
must have just wrote this just now.
Yeah, he had some advance notice here. The PlayStation 1 is turning 20 years old later this week. That's actually quite true. That is on September 9th, 1995, and now here we are 20 years later. Guys, what are some of your memories from the PlayStation 1?
Oh, the PlayStation 1.
What are some of your memories from the PS1? Thanks, guy.
Brett. It was Brett from Tokyo.
Brett from Tokyo. P.S. Keep up the great work, Colin.
I wrote that email.
Okay, great. Well, the PlayStation 1 is turning 20 years old, and I've just heard a lot of people going, whoa, I sure feel old now. Yeah, cool. Let's make it about you. Let's actually talk about the PlayStation 1, what it meant to us. The question I want to start off with, Justin, is when was the first time you played a PlayStation 1? Or let's just be real here. When was the very first time you played PlayStation? Because that's what it was. It was not PS1. It was PlayStation back in the day.
I think, my older brother brought one home. We played, I think it was Puzzle Fighter right off the bat. Believe that was a launch title.
I think that was out in 1997, so that was 2 years after the launch.
Oh, really? Well,
maybe it was 1996. I don't know. I didn't play it until after it came out, well after it came out, so I could be wrong there.
Yeah, I just remember the jump in graphics from the previous generation of systems, which was crazy at that point, where you're like, man, this looks so good compared to Super Nintendo. I'm sorry, Super Nintendo.
And you got to understand that Puzzle Fighter was a 2D game, not a 3D game, and it used sprites. It was basically a puzzle game starring the Street Fighter and some of the Darksiders cast. But the thing is that the sprites look so much better. Obviously, the sprites were a little bit better in the Sega Saturn, but even if you just went from Super Nintendo to PlayStation, it was like, holy crap, this is a next generation. I remember that specifically with Symphony of the Night. Symphony In the night. What did I say? Symphony of the
I
Night.
don't remember, but
What is going on to the Symphony to the Night, the Castlevania game?
what are people like sneaking
I'm
in?
going to play my violin for the night. I'm a vampires.
Do they have one that you use a violin as a weapon yet? I don't think they do.
Probably. So,
Devil May Cry.
I remember the first time I played a PlayStation, it was launch day, and to this day, I have no idea who bought it. I have no idea where it came from. If my parents bought it, if my brothers bought it, I don't know. All I know is that we played Battle Arena Toshinden, and I didn't even know
the original, okay.
I read all the magazines, right? But I glossed over the PlayStation because much like the 3DO and all those other devices, like I inherently knew you're never going to see this because all CD systems had failed previously. So whenever you'd see something cool in the back, you'd be like, wow. But you'd never connect it to, I got to go to the store because it was just unreasonable. These were things that you would order from like mail catalogs, random stuff, where you'd have to go to a furniture store to find a 3DO. It's so random. But when I just walked to the room and they're playing Battle Arena Toshinden, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Like it's a 3D fighter. That made no sense that it looked just like the arcade and it was at home. I could not comprehend it. I know I'm sounding like I'm exaggerating, but
I'm with you, man.
I feel like a lot of kids these days, they really miss out on I feel like because
The physical copies.
well, I'm 29. You're 28.
I'm 28.
You're 28. Okay, because it's weird because we grew up at a time where it went from NES to Genesis to PlayStation.
Very drastic jump.
Huge jumps, and then PS2, and
Dreamcast.
from there.
I was blown away by Dreamcast.
Oh, Dreamcast too, but
$99.99.
yeah, well, that was also the same day as the PlayStation. Thanks for ruining strong history.
Oh,
but
I'm sorry.
No, but for me, the PlayStation, it was just so remarkable because it just had these amazing 3D graphics and just this amazing CD quality sound, and
it was very Japanese. I think I was really big into the anime stuff and like the
like
more or less
Tomba.
Japanese culture at that time.
Tomba and Jumping Flash and like all these really cool Japanese, and that's the thing that people don't understand is because it was entering into the 3D era well before the Nintendo 64. It was very experimental with 3D, and that experimentalism sort of stopped. Now all the indie games just want to be 2D, and that makes me sad because 3D is so much more abstract.
It was very stylized, the polygons back in the day.
Yeah. That's my thing that I feel
nostalgic.
so sad about, though, is that games these days are trying to replicate some sort of realism or some sort of in-universe reality, whereas back then, they didn't really explain anything, and it was just extremely abstract. Things like Dark Souls, I think, are a good representation of that, where they don't explain anything. You just go there, and you have to figure out the internal logic of this world. And I don't know, especially when the PlayStation 1 came out, it was just, the controller was different. You know, there were the 4 buttons, even though that was on the Super Nintendo, it had 4 shoulder buttons. Probably the most comfortable controller that doesn't have an analog stick, the PS1.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the other launch titles that I played back then.
Oh, we'll get into it in strong history. But
okay, great.
I don't know, favorite, not your favorite PS1 game ever, but just like, I don't know, just name off one that you're really, really fond of.
Oh, I really like the Bomberman racing game.
You serious? That's what you came up with?
I really did like that one. It's like dinosaurs racing, you throw bombs at each other. Well, any of the Bomberman stuff. I mean, that's not really PlayStation specific.
No.
Let's see. You named Tomba. Tobal's pretty good.
Yeah, and obviously like the Suikoden series.
Suikoden I love. Legend of Legaia. They had a lot of like good third-party RPGs.
And I think the platformers, honestly, I prefer the platformers on PlayStation to 64. I feel like 64 is open worlds, while very interesting and ambitious, even though I've learned to really love Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. I just don't think they're anywhere near as fun to play as something like Spyro the Dragon.
Yeah, Spyro, that was pretty good.
And I was aged out of Spyro. It was a kid's game, but I was still playing it, going like, wow, look how fast he's running. Look at this draw distance, just incredible stuff. And the Crash Bandicoot series, unbelievable. I love the original Crash Bandicoot games. You can go back to those today and still play them, and they're excellent.
Brave Fencer Musashi.
Oh, I love Brave Fencer.
That was a little later, I think, but that was a...
And that was the era when, RPGs ruled the world. And people don't realize that, they go, oh my God, look at these 16-bit sprites. These were the RPGs. No one gave a shit about RPGs back then. It was until the PlayStation 1 came out and people went, look at that animation. That's when people cared about RPGs. Not saying it's right or wrong.
Yeah, they even played that garbage Legend of Dragoon game.
Oh my God, Legend of Dragoon. I miss 989 Studios, though.
Yeah, I do too.
And
Cool Borders. I remember playing a lot.
Twisted Metal.
Yeah, Twisted Metal too.
It's. I don't know if we can ever actually fully explain how much the PS1. There's definitely gonna be a Pressure Cast episode about the PS1. I did a retrospective. I don't know, maybe episode 30 or 40, but it didn't come out the way I wanted to. So we'll probably do an episode where we go through the history of PlayStation because it's fascinating. I got an article going up on Tuesday at Shepherd all about the PlayStation. It's just a very brief synopsis about it, but you know, it's to this day, it's amazing that anybody feels okay with a system called PlayStation.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I remember when we used to see those pay stations at like the car garages.
I guess it's a pun on workstation because that's a very common term in Japan. You got your workstation, so this is your PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's just I don't know.
Well, like it's one of those things. Like remember when on The Simpsons when you had the flaming Mo, where that just sounded like a normal thing for a while because you heard it so much.
And then you start realizing there's like a joke in there. Yeah,
the flaming Homer.
I don't know. I wish. Yeah, yeah. Either way, it doesn't sound good. You know, I don't know. I wish that Sony, even though they're doing very well right now, could somehow tap into what the PlayStation 1 was all about, which is giving opportunities to other people. It was very experimental, and they're doing that right now with independence, but it's not the same. Like back in the day with the PS1, it's kind of like Parappa the Rapper. What is that? Like inventing the modern music game. Like it's not like anything else. It makes me sad. It was so weird. But my favorite PS1 game, just off the top of my head that we're talking about, is Ori no Rihi, which is a cooking game where you use an analog stick to control hands. And so you use the left analog stick to move the hand slowly away from over a carrot while tapping down on the right analog stick to cut the carrot.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then a customer leaves the restaurant without paying, so you have to use left foot, right foot to chase after them.
Oh, funny.
And they have to wash dishes by just picking up the dish with the left analog stick and then wiping it by doing a circular motion like Mario Party with the right analog stick.
Oh, wow.
That was, oh, man. And obviously Ape Escape. Really good game.
You know, one of my other favorites ones is Carnage Heart. That was right there at the beginning. It's like a mech game where you build your own.
And Loaded.
Loaded? Oh, Loaded, not Loaded.
Loaded's not good.
No, Loaded is terrible, isn't it?
Well, I mean, that's just all we didn't have emails this week, so I just figured we should just talk a little bit about the PS1. But we better move forward.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Here
God.
it comes. Kabloom. That's right. It's the earth-shattering stories of the week.
Oh, here we go. Rubbing my hands together.
Oh my God, what a week we have here. It was a slow news week, but if you actually care about ethics and journalism, then you might like this next story.
That's my strong suit.
So, 2 years ago, Machinima had a deal with Microsoft. They contacted their content creators and asked them to create videos hyping up the Xbox One. They were to give them either neutral or positive reviews. At one point, they asked them to make, they had 5 YouTubers. They asked them to each make 2 videos. They were going to have a montage of Xbox 360 games and say, name 3 positive things you're excited for with the Xbox One. All right. They were going to give these guys some extra scratch for doing so, $1 for every 1,000 views. And they were at the total payment was going to be $25,000. We have Tom, the Syndicate Project, Cassell, was paid $30,000 for doing this. $30,000.
Jeez, they just wrote him a check or something?
I guess so. Adam Sky VS Gaming Dahlberg, he made $15,000 off of this. There were over 300 videos involved on this, and the only problem is that at no point did they ever state that these videos, as influence, you could say they're influencers, tastemakers
sure,
for a younger generation. At no point did they ever disclose that they were being paid by Microsoft, or they had the potential to be paid by Microsoft for making this. And here's the part that I absolutely love, is that they were actually in the contracts, they were not allowed to have any sort of negative discussion, and they weren't supposed to mention anything about being paid all.
How many people ended up doing this?
There were over 300 videos, and I'm not really sure how many people were involved, but so 300 videos that were specifically for this project.
That sounds like a lot of money for Microsoft.
They signed a contract to not talk about the fact that they had the opportunity to make a killing off of this. And now the FTC has ruled, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, actually stepped in saying, hold on. They actually had a ruling that said, this is deceptive advertising. Deceptive advertising. Think about all the shit that you see on TV. Think about all the print ads in magazines where at the very bottom it says, hey, this is actually an advertisement. All the things
advertisement for them.
All the things you see on BuzzFeed, which makes 90% of its money from advertising and fake articles. And out of all of that, the FTC said, that's deceptive. That really says something in this day and age. And so Microsoft's not in trouble at all. They said, we're not blaming Microsoft. Microsoft actually said, make sure to disclose this. Like, they didn't do anything wrong. I'm not here to defend Microsoft. They've done pretty borderline weird things in the past. But Machinima didn't disclose that information.
Are those videos still online?
I'm not sure, but here's what the FTC actually had to say about it. This is from the director of the Bureau of Commission Protection, Jessica Rich. When people see a product touted online, they have the right to know whether they're looking at an authentic opinion or paid marketing pitch. That's true whether the endorsement appears in a video or any other media. Which is true. The failures to disclose here appear to be isolated incidents that occur in spite of and not in the absence of policies and procedures designed to prevent such lapses. Microsoft had a robust compliance procedure in place when the Xbox One campaign was launched. Since the Xbox One campaign, Microsoft has adopted additional safeguards regarding sponsored endorsement. In addition, Microsoft took swift action to require that Machinima insert disclosures into the campaign videos once they learned that Machinima had paid the influencers and that no disclosures were made. So here's the thing. I really want to get to this. Obviously, I'm on YouTube. You're on YouTube.
I'm on there.
I do videos on new games all the time. I tell people exactly how I feel. I write reviews for the Shepherd Express, and I just want to get this out here because I feel like this is a conversation that's been going on for a very, very long time. When people say, oh, I don't like IGN or GameSpot or Polygon or any of those places because they're just paid off. I remember one time I was at a bar, maybe this was like 5 years ago, where I said I really liked Red Dead Redemption. This other guy goes, I thought it was okay. I bet all those reviews were paid, though. You know they just get paid to give the positive coverage, which has never been true. It's never been proven. If you want examples of this, you got to go across the pond over to Japan, where that has taken place, and we do have evidence of that. And the only other place we have evidence of that is on YouTube, because that's what people always say. I don't go to the mainstream sites. I go to YouTube for the honest opinions. But that's the problem. Whether or not you're listening to some guy whose name is Complete Cracker, and he wears a bowler cap and has a British accent, and he's been paid multiple times to play games on his streams.
Cracker.
I'm the Complete Cracker, and I'm not naming names because I guess that would be hearsay. But I'm just saying that there are plenty of those guys out there that we know for a fact have been paid off, and that they have actually made recent provisions to prevent this because they are not disclosing the fact that they're doing that, which is hilarious because this only seems to be an issue when it comes to video games. A friend of mine recently asked me to help her start doing a video series on makeup. I had no idea that there were so many makeup videos on YouTube.
There's a million of them. I have 2 friends that make these videos.
You know what's funny, though? At the end of those makeup videos, they always talk about some sort of mascara or something else, and they go, listen, I just want to let you know that they sent this to me to try out and to mention this on the video, but you know what? I actually really like it. Or they say, yeah, but I really don't like it. They mention when they are paid to discuss those items, and for whatever reason, video games don't comply on that same level.
So you listen you watch these entire makeup videos all the way to the end?
Wait, lift up your mic. I'm sorry. I don't understand why that's just a video game stigma thing. I did watch some of those makeup videos. I don't understand exactly what that was about. So I don't know. But that's just what bothers me is that all these kids out there think that the mainstream press, the people that actually took the time to go to school, to learn to write, to get out there, and they try their hardest to actually remain partial until they have decided upon an opinion. Mm-hmm. These other people are saying, well, sure. And I'm not against video game people. I want to make this very clear. I'm not against video game people taking money to mention a product. Everybody needs to make money off of things. Mm-hmm. You fuckers have ad blocker on everything, so nobody gets paid anymore, and you're shutting down websites left and right. Fine. But in the inverse, we need to start having people saying, hey, check out Lego Jurassic World. It's available right now. I'm being paid for this. But that last part's what's really important. Mention that you're being paid for this. That's what drives me nuts.
Well, a lot of these YouTube people are trying to make money, aren't they?
And they should.
They're just trying to monetize a lot of the content that they produce.
Making videos, we gotta get that mic close to you, buddy. Making videos is very important, you know, for these people, because that's where they get the most of their financial revenue from. And I'm okay with that. A
lot of them are pretty good at it, right? You get a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely. So it really annoys me that we now have this stigma attached to it, where they're not actually being genuine. And then the inverse, like I said, we have these other people that think that everything they say is gospel, when in fact they're being paid to look at things. And, you know, I don't know if PewDiePie ever does that, but I know that there are plenty of other YouTubers that do that. And I hate the term YouTuber because, let's face facts, the second there is a more competitive, better service that offers more money for your content, you will switch. You will abandon YouTube. You think PewDiePie is going to stick around if somebody offers him triple? Hell no. He's going to get out of there in 2 seconds. So I don't know.
When do you think there's going to be a superior platform to YouTube? I don't see it happening.
In the next 10 years.
Really?
There has to be.
You think Facebook's going to get overthrown by a more popular...
Facebook's already doing the whole video thing. Remember that? And their videos are doing very well.
Oh, yeah. I just mean, is there going to be like a replacement service that's better at any point?
Sure. Always.
You think there's always going to be something that... Well, what about like... let's see. Any examples of this? Yeah, I guess there's pretty much always something that replaces something. But
you got to understand that the digital medium is far more fickle than the physical one. When we talk about something like, where's the best fast food franchise, it's always going to be McDonald's because they've bought so many locations.
No way, man. Not McDonald's.
Well, what's the best selling? What's the top
Well, Subway
brand?
has the most stores.
Is that right?
Yeah, but they've got them in different countries that they don't have McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
They're like, there's a ton in Africa and stuff.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know about that. But, with the digital ideas, all you have to do is it takes such a minimum of effort to become engaged in the digital content so that you can move over there. But that's not what I'm trying to get to. Justin, does this hurt anybody, or are the kids just not going to listen? That the FTC has ruled this. Will the kids even remotely acknowledge this exists?
Well, it seems like what you're saying is that there's like some urban myth that seems to be perpetuated amongst kids that people on YouTube aren't getting paid to be doing these advertisements. They're getting paid elsewhere. Like, it seems like that false information starts with the people who are watching the videos in the first place.
Because they like them. They like them, and so they naturally build this narrative.
They want to think it's authentic because they like it.
Yeah, they're just like, this guy would be my friend, so he must be on the level.
I think it's on Microsoft. I don't blame anybody who's trying to make a couple bucks off of the content that they're producing.
No, I mean, Microsoft did say you got to include disclosures to Machinima, or do you think that Microsoft is just full of shit and they got caught?
I think they're a little full of shit. They just have too much money, and they're just like, hey, here's a way we can influence people to buy some of our games.
Well, it's true that they did have just a disastrous announcement where they announced the title, they announced the system, and all they really did was talk about the features inside of it, not really about the games, and so people hated it. So they needed to go somewhere, and they knew that YouTube would be the fastest way, especially with these kids in their rooms, just like talking into a camera. You've seen the first hour. You know how it goes.
I see it. Yeah. I've seen a million similar videos to that.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, seems like these kids will do it for free, so if you pay them to do it, maybe they give you better content and they advertise for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally kids talking to kids. So they win all the way, you know?
I don't know how I feel about it, but I don't really know how effective it would be anyway.
It's very effective because when you look at, there was last year, because we always cover the charts in the UK, and I kept saying, why the fuck is Skate 3 keep popping up on here? I said that time and time. You can go back and listen to those episodes, and I found out why. It's because PewDiePie played Skate 3, and it went back on the top 10.
Huh? Is that really it?
That's how influential these people are. And I honestly like PewDiePie. I think that he's a pretty genuine individual. I have a lot of issue with these other people out there that pretend that they're on the principle. It's the principle of the matter. Oh, tut 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 tut. And even the American guys that have like fake British accents, and then they always end up getting their hand stuck in the cookie jar, and nobody wants to look. No one wants to admit it. No one wants to acknowledge that this is how these guys get paid. And it's fine as long as they acknowledge it. But at the same time, don't say, oh, I don't like IGN because they give this game a 6.5 and I like Sonic the Hedgehog, so they're just getting paid off to... That's the thing that drives me nuts. It's not even just when people say, like, oh, they're getting paid to give positive reviews. It's when, oh, yeah, Battlefield didn't score as well as Call of Duty because Activision paid them to give that a bad review. Like, that's where it gets bonkers,
Yeah, I feel like there's just a point where you got to play the game yourself and decide for yourself whether or not you like it, right?
Yeah, and then it doesn't matter. It's just someone else's opinion.
You just go in there predisposed, like, oh, this is going to be great. Because I've done that a million times where like, oh, I really want to like this, but I don't like it.
Yeah, man.
Especially with video games.
That was me with WWF No Mercy. Man, it still hurts. So hard. But, that's the thing I just want to point out before we move on. If you look at a giant website like IGN or GameSpot, Polygon, Eurogamer, they have a marketing side where people that are only there to buy advertising, they're on that side of the room, all right?
Right.
And on the other side, we have the people that are reviewing games. And in that system, they're not supposed to interact. And if you really look at the ethics of these websites, even as something as frivolous as video games, which I love video games, but come on, they're frivolous, they never, ever interact. And people will still defend this. They'll go, you know what, man, I kind of agree with you, but that website, they're getting paid off. You're nuts. It doesn't happen. It never happened.
But what about is there like an official Microsoft site where they just have positive things about Microsoft games on the website?
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong, but they still look at, remember Nintendo Power?
Yeah.
But if you look at the way that it was, almost everything was a 9, right? But but they still had plenty of 7s. So just do the math in your
And
head.
they're pushing the ones that they know are the best games or are going to be the most.
I mean, they were still very honest. I mean, that's magazines back then, and they were still very honest about it.
EGM was always really honest too.
EGM was very honest. So I don't know. I just wanted to point that out. So yes, the FTC has ruled Machinima was being deceptive, and that these popular YouTubers, which I hate that word, were being deceptive. I just, crazy story. Drives me absolutely nuts. And we probably had a bunch of people turn off the show because they're just like, no, I won't hear it.
Yeah, we'll have to follow up on that one next week.
I won't hear it. No. My favorite, Cookie Blazer 420 is not a sellout, and
I go to the YouTuber conventions every year.
yeah.
To meet my favorite YouTubers.
Yeah, really. Holy shit.
Are we going to go to the convention this year?
Yeah, we're gonna go there. We're gonna protest.
So if you want to meet us, we'll be outside protesting.
It's gonna be like the G20 or the G8. We're gonna be out there.
Yeah, we both do our own videos, but
another round of police shooting tear gas into the protests outside the YouTuber convention. That's how powerful they're gonna get.
That sounds like a disaster.
I do sound like a conspiracy theorist when I'm trying to explain this stuff, but it's so frustrating.
You got a little Art Bell going on right now.
Okay, great. Next on the earth-shattering stories of the week. Deus Ex: Mankind Divided is the upcoming sequel to, Deus Ex: Human Revolution, which in turn is really a prequel to the other two Deus Ex games. Here's the thing. They have started their own sort of Kickstarter, I guess you might say.
Oh, no, here we go again.
In Kickstarter, there are a set of tiers. Once those tiers are reached, they add additional content into a game. Only this time, it's not about you giving them money per se directly. It is about pre-orders. So, for instance, once they reach enough pre-orders, they're actually going to have some extra loadouts. They're going to have a choice of 3 loadouts. And once you get to the next tier, they're going to have a digital art book and soundtrack. Ooh.
Wow, I want an art book.
The tier 3, get a new mission. And tier 4, you can either have the novella or the graphic novel. And if they reach the final tier, the game's going to be out 4 days earlier, which instead of February 23rd, is going to be February 19th.
Yeah, I'd like to see if they just had another tier, like another $10,000. We'll have it out a month earlier than that.
I don't think they can do that.
I don't think going earlier and earlier.
Oh
How
my
bad
God.
do you want it?
The developers are just losing their fucking minds. Like, what do you mean? We got to have it done by tomorrow. We just got $2 million. We don't know what to do.
Can you give it to us in advance? No, the Kickstarter's not over yet.
A lot of people are rather upset about this. They're saying, Square Enix, what the hell are you doing? How dare you do this? You are taking pre-order to a whole new level. That's disgusting.
So is Square, they're still a developer or are they just a publisher now?
They are a developer, but they own IDOS, which they purchased a while ago. IDOS in turn owns things like Crystal Dynamics, and really, if you look at at their library, the most recent library, most of the money comes out of the Western Division, including things like Sleeping Dogs and Tomb Raider and old games like that. So and Deus Ex: Human Revolution. I'm just here to say, hold on, everybody. I'm sorry, but Square Enix is actually doing something very smart here. They have seen what happens on Kickstarter. How people that have a game they're not even really that excited for, but they just see all these bonus content. They say, oh my goodness, well, I want that. So they just start, just shelling out 20s and 30s and 40s. All they're saying right here is, hey, you already know what this game's going to be. Just give us money. You're going to pre-order it anyway. Give us the money. We're going to give you extra stuff. We might even release the game early. Now, some people have pointed out, fuck pre-ordering, never pre-order anything. I think that's rather elitist. And I don't use that term lightly.
Well, now that you're actually getting some sort of, reason to actually pre-order, too.
Yeah, I mean, but these things always happen. Like, there was get a bonus
or a
scarf.
T-shirt or something. Yeah, I mean, this sounds like it's actually like more content, right?
Yeah, Farming Simulator, I got a hat.
Are you wearing it right now?
No.
Oh.
That's a different hat. This it has Farming Simulator. This is just my regular fedora, my lady. This is no I got to give Square Enix credit because it's not about what's right and wrong. There's no morality in this system. It's ridiculous to even impose that on there. But
it's a business, man.
It's a business, and they've seen what's successful. And I'm not saying that it's something that I prefer, but they've seen what happens, so why not incorporate that into something they're already investing a lot of money into? And this whole tier system, yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's stupid. But you know what? It's going to get more pre-orders, and then more people are going to do it, and that's fine. And you can write up your little article or make your little video about how upset you are and how you can't stand that people are pre-ordering something they haven't played. Who cares? People like to pre-order. Pre-orders help the business. That's the thing that people always kind of forget.
Yeah.
Pre-orders keep jobs. I'm sorry. And I don't like it. I don't like that that's how the business is run. There's something I really don't like is when they go, oh, you got to sell this many copies to get a bonus or this many pre-orders so that you can go see your family on vacation. It's crazy things like that. I don't agree with that, but that's how the system works right now.
This reminds me of is in high school when you had that fundraising drive. Kind of seems like a big fundraiser where you're
for the car wash, you mean? The car
or
wash?
You get a day off if you raise a certain amount of money.
Is that right?
You don't remember that?
I don't remember anything from high school.
Yeah, Corvette. You can win that Corvette if you sold enough candy bars.
Whoa, how many candy bars do we gotta sell?
I don't know, but a Corvette.
Can I still do this?
I think it's a little bit late, but we could go buy a bunch of candy bars from Sam's Club and go hang out and say we're selling them for our baseball team. People will buy them.
Okay, cool.
Make $1 a pop on a candy bar that costs 10 cents.
Dude, I'm younger than you. You're selling candy bars?
Well, we just put on baseball uniforms.
That's true. They can't deny that.
Right.
I'm just selling it for my son.
I just wonder how many times those people are legit you see on the street selling candy bars. Like, did you just buy some candy bars and you're just making some money right now? You can probably make some decent money off a box.
You went to Sam's Club and bought one of those things and now you're on the street? Yeah, well, I mean, and you know what? That's fine by them because you don't have to buy the candy bars, just like you don't have to pre-order Deus Ex, Mankind Divided.
Nice. Good job tying it back together.
I don't know. I'm still excited for the game. Yes, it's ridiculous, but it's where we're at.
Is it a continuation of the last one?
Yeah.
So you can load your previous character into it, or?
I doubt it, unless maybe you're playing on the PC version. Because it was on PS3 and 3. Did you play the last one?
No.
Oh, okay. It had a pretty bad ending. I don't want to get into it.
I heard that it wasn't very similar to the original.
It's very similar to the original. It's more similar to the original than I think even Part 2 was, where Part 2 went overboard with the choices. I don't know. It was a good game. It's just a very troubled game. To this day,
Very mispronounced name.
Yeah, the Deceptive Human Revolution.
You hear a lot of Deus Ex, right?
Yeah, of course. Why not? I mean, what's your favorite Deus Ex game?
I don't know, the original. It doesn't get any better than the original.
That's all you got for me.
That's the only one that I played.
What'd you play it on?
Was it a computer I had at some point?
You played on, I don't know, a computer?
I think it was a computer. Yeah, it was a Mac back in the day, I believe.
Mac back?
The Mac back. I played it on. It was before the MacBook. They had the Mac back.
All right, fantastic.
Just keep moving forward in the alphabet. The next one will be the MacBook.
Great. Well, that's going to do it for the earth-shattering story. Sorry.
Oh, shit. What's that? Oh, it's finally coming. You got your ticket?
It's the hype train. That's right. Feel the vibration while we barrel towards the station of video game satisfaction on the hype train. This is where we talk about all the upcoming titles and all the news that relates to them. Kicking it off, Uncharted 4 finally has a release date. The PlayStation 4 exclusive will be released on March 18th. Justin, did you play the Uncharted games?
I did. I really like them. They're very cinematic.
How many of those did you play?
I played all 3 of them.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I didn't play part 1.
One you basically see what they laid out for the rest of them. The second one's just a complete jump.
They're going to be releasing Uncharted Trilogy in October, I want to say. I'm really looking forward to that.
I like fighting those Yetis and stuff.
Oh, I hated the Yetis. That's why I got really angry, because I'm like, oh, it's just going to be this. It's going to be bullshit magic, huh? Is that what we're doing?
Oh, you don't like the super... It's not that challenging, but
it's easy. I just didn't like that it changed the story, because I was thinking it was going to be like...
Oh, okay, yeah.
Then it really became Indiana Jones and Tomb Raider. I was like, oh, you could have made this more realistic.
Yeah, they really wanted it to feel like a movie, and then you got, basically Nathan Fillion from Firefly as the main character.
Oh, by the way, there is a collector's edition, and you can get a 12-inch Nathan Drake statue.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him in Smash Brothers.
Toot toot! If you thought that was like Tomb Raider, check out Rise of the Tomb Raider. We have good news in case you're excited for the upcoming single-player game. That's right, single-player, because it won't have multiplayer. Last time around, they had Tomb Raider. They include this multiplayer mode, which was actually okay. Like, it was actually pretty decent, but nobody played it. That's not why you go to Tomb Raider. I don't know.
No, that's one of those standalone sort of single-player titles.
You should really check out the last Tomb Raider. It was really good.
I've been hearing they're all great.
Well, they're not all great. I thought the originals were kind of slow and clunky even back in the day.
Oh, I love Tomb Raider 2. That was one of
Tomb Raider.
Tops.
Oh, dude, remember locking that guy in the fridge?
Oh yeah, and fighting the dinosaur then?
Was it? No, there's the dinosaur.
Or it's a dragon. It's a dragon.
Oh yeah, because that's in China. But in the first game, you find that dinosaur in like the first hour.
Oh, that was terrifying. Actually, it was really scary.
I know. I'd run away from it because you couldn't kill it. But then I'd try and do the cheat code. You know, the left
You
and
could
right.
kill it. You just need the Desert Eagle, I think.
Yeah, but then it still took 1,000,000 bullets. This has nothing to do with what we're talking
There's
about.
really no point in killing it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Toot. Metal Gear Solid 5 was released earlier this week, but man, did it have some problems with its servers. I myself was playing it, and right in the middle of a cutscene, it interrupted to say, "Oh, we lost connection to the server."
Oh, I hate when that happens.
I don't know why they even bothered. The servers have just started to roll out. They're starting to go back online. This is important because they have these bonuses for logging in daily. And, well, it appears that everything's starting to sort out.
So you have to play it online? You can't play it offline?
No, you can play it offline. I played it offline all week. We'll get into that when we get to the games of the week. But, toot toot! Konami had a rather interesting few weeks leading up to its release. In fact, there were a number of developers from the PC version that actually gave up their vacation time. They're supposed to have a summer vacation, and they said, no, never mind. We want to get this game out on the same day as the console version. It was originally supposed to be released on September 15th. They pushed it forward to September 1st. That's why they give their vacation time. Senior producer Kenichiro Imazumi had this to say: PC launch day earlier than original plan. He's not.
He didn't say that, did he?
He did.
Okay.
That's not me misreading it. I'm sorry.
PC launch. Oh, just don't do an accent when you read it and you're fine.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is really what he said. Our programmers didn't take summer vacation to make it happen. Kind of sad. Okay.
Okay.
Obviously, their families are not happy. Unsmiley face. These are literally quotes from him.
So this is the guy who's like behind the scenes with the whip, cracking the whip on these guys.
No wonder they were doing that. We don't want to work with this jackass anymore.
Yeah. But you wouldn't think they would put out something quality. You would just kind of rush it out.
No, believe it or not, the PC version is supposed to be fantastic. But then again, the PC port for Ground Zeroes and Lords of Shadow 2 have been good. That's so sad. Konami's actually done really great PC ports. So it's a shame what's going on with that company there. Doot doot! PlayStation 4 is getting a brand new firmware update, Firmware Update 3.0, and boy, is it going to excite everybody. We have the official list of what's being added to it. Previously, you had 1 gigabyte of cloud storage. That's been up to 10 gigabytes.
Very nice.
That's pretty good. YouTube Live, so you can stream directly to YouTube, which I've been doing all week. Not on my PlayStation 4, but just using my good old PC. You can have an events hub, so you can create events, be like, hey, we're all going to play Battlefield together, okay?
I like playing on events.
You want to play on Saturday?
No. How about Sunday?
We already made an event for Saturday. And then you can also have favorite groups, because you're going to have communities. That's right, communities, which I can only imagine.
You hate that word, right? Sounds like you're going to church or something.
No, it's going to add up to being something horrible. You know, someone's going to have some white supremacist community on PS4, and then there's going to be a news story saying, are white supremacists hiding on the PlayStation internet? You know,
are they all playing Rocket League together?
Here's another good part. Sharing video clips to Twitter. That's pretty cool. You can just share it directly. Stickers. That's right. You can just have a message that you can send directly to someone via sticker instead of having to type it out. You have the Now Playing, so you can see what your friends are playing.
Wow.
You can have, they've updated Live from PlayStation. And here's my favorite one. Request to watch gameplay. So if I'm playing a game and you're in PlayStation 4 and you see I'm playing that hot new exciting game, you can send me a message saying, hey, can I watch? Can I watch you play? Hey, Justin.
Is it going to take away from my bandwidth?
Yeah. Hey, Justin.
No, you can't watch it.
What? You don't know what I'm going to say
Dude,
yet.
I'm in the middle of it. You're interrupting me.
No, let me just
I'm
watch.
turning off my Twitter notifications.
Let me just watch what you're doing.
Okay, you can watch.
Oh, I like this. This is a good time for me.
Wow, you're having fun watching me play?
Yeah. Just the idea that someone could... You know, please, Sony... allow us to have the offline account. That's the thing that drives me nuts, is that you can't say, I'm offline. You're always online.
Yeah, that is really annoying.
Because I can only imagine. Because I always get, messages from very nice people that follow me on PlayStation Network. They do.
Mr. Popular over here.
Whatever. They're very nice. But, I don't want... I mean, if someone requests, hey, I want to check out that game that you're playing, it's like, just watch my videos. I feel bad. I don't want to do that. But I can only imagine this is going to be a nightmare scenario.
Yeah, I don't want to have...
then again, I have all my notifications on PSN turned off. It only goes through my phone.
But maybe this will finally motivate you to be a better gamer. Because you're like, oh, all these people are watching me suck at this game.
It's like, oh, Charles? I'm here for you and the baby. Remember 5 years ago when I quit drinking? I promised I'd be a better gamer.
I've got to dedicate a lot of time to this stuff.
Toot toot! There is a brand new Xbox One Elite bundle for $500. It comes with the brand new controller that's like the Xbox Elite controller that looks major, looks excellent. Also comes with a 1 terabyte solid state hybrid drive. So that's not
Solid Snake?
Yeah, it's Solid Snake. No, it's not to be confused with a solid state drive. This is a solid state hybrid drive. So not as fast, but much faster. Microsoft is saying about 20% faster. It will be $499, which is $150 more. But you are getting 1 terabyte, which is pretty good. And you are getting the extra controller. And that controller is like $100. Stop. Toot toot! Batman Arkham Knight is finally working on the PC because they have that brand new interim patch that's over 600 megabytes. Apparently, it is fixing a lot of the frame rate issues. There were some low resolution objects for some reason in the game, and it is optimized most of the RAM, but still they're having a lot of issues with Windows 10 users and people that only have 8 gigabytes of RAM, and even some NVIDIA problems, which is crazy because it's an NVIDIA.
Yeah.
When you start up the game, it's like, NVIDIA, yeah, this game was made with NVIDIA in mind. And it's like, oh, it's not working. I'm using NVIDIA.
Would you like to upgrade your drivers?
Yeah. Doot doot. The Witcher 3 is going to have a new patch. Well, that's obvious. They have a ton of patches for The Witcher 3, but this one's a little bit more lovely than the others because it's going to enhance your romantic conversations. Here is a quote from CD Projekt Red. We'll be addressing some additional dialogue for Triss and Yennefer for the upcoming patch due to fan feedback. Feedback?
Fan feedback.
Eat out of the bag. The feedback.
This is for you.
The Witcher feedback when you pre-order now.
You could get a bag in the mail.
You can put grain and oats in here and you can eat it, just like Roach does. That's the name of the horse in The Witcher 3.
Roach.
Yeah. We've read many opinions on our forums where gamers weren't satisfied with the way their romantic choices were fleshed out. Wink. So we wanted to change that by adding some extra conversational options.
Yeah, you know what? Talking is always what I want to do in a romance.
Great. We learned a lot about you today.
Yeah, that's the number one thing for me. I'm like, man, I want to talk to that girl right now.
Do you like having sex in games?
No.
Me either.
I think it's kind of sleazy.
I mean, unless I actually want the couple to get together. I feel like most of the games, it's just you trying to have sex as opposed to trying to get the characters together. We're like, no, they belong together.
Yeah.
My Sims still belong together.
Or like Mass Effect, where you're just like trying to unlock everything, so you need to get the sex cutscenes.
So I gotta ask you, back in the day when you were playing The Sims, how much of it did you spend A, killing people, and B, trying to get the girls to kiss?
I turned my guys gay a lot, and I made them sleep.
Did you really?
Yeah, I made them sleep in the race car beds.
I'm being honest with you.
And you know what I also did? I played it with my mom and my brother had people in the same universe as mine. I would turn their people gay, too.
Wow.
Yeah, so I would turn my brother's guy gay, and then he was living with my guy.
Okay, why don't you lay down on the couch and we can talk more about this?
Yeah.
I was always just trying to get the girls to kiss. I can't help it.
I don't think I ever tried that.
I was pathetic. I mean, your option was obviously funnier, trying to have guys have sex in a race car bed. But I was always just like, just kiss, you know? And then locking people into a room with a coffee maker so that they piss and cry and die.
Or have a party at your house and have everyone in the pool and then take away the thing where they can
take away the ladder.
Yeah, exactly.
Toot toot! Soul Calibur Lost Swords is living up to its name. The free-to-play PlayStation 3 game is officially going offline on November 30th.
So this is Soul Calibur where you don't use any weapons?
I wasn't finished. It's November 30th. It's going offline.
So you don't use any weapons. It's just a fist-fighting Soul Calibur game.
No, it was a...
Where's all of our swords?
Well, it was kind of a controversial game because it did have a lot of pay to win. Like, because it was essentially like building up your character, kind of like you did in that story mode or whatever that was in Soul Calibur and all of them.
Stupid.
Yeah, I know. Not the best. Toot toot! WildStar, the MMO, is officially going free to play on September 29th.
They're trying to compete with Guild Wars 2?
Why not?
Or is it Guild Wars 3?
Sure, why not just name whatever?
Guild Wars 1.
That's what they're going after. They're gonna crush them with WildStar because you can play as like furry animals. Toot toot! Star Wars Battlefront Beta is officially happening in October. No exact date, but it will happen on the PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 3. Toot toot! Deadpool is a game that sure was something on Xbox 360 and PS3. And now it's sure going to be something on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One when it releases on November 20th. I won't say it's an HD remaster, but it is just, it's a port. Is anything just going to get a port now? Anything?
Sure, if you can make more money. Well, that's one of the superhero games, right?
You know what's shocking about this? I remember everybody freaking out when they took it down from Steam, and it's not available on Xbox 360 or our PlayStation Network.
Right.
And now it appears that everyone thought, oh, it's because it's Activision and Disney doesn't want to be involved with them for some reason. And now it's like, no, we're just going to release this now. I imagine that the reason that they're having a bit of a sour relationship with Activision is because they have Disney Infinity and Activision has Skylanders.
Oh, yeah.
So that's probably it. I want Mickey and Spyro to hang out together. You can't do that.
No, why would you want to do that?
Doot doot. Devil's Third is a game that's coming out for the Wii U later this year, but it's already out in Europe, and its reviews are sure are something. Sure are something. A lot of people saying this game sucks, and Tomonoro Itagaki, the director of that, as well as many other famous titles such as Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox and Dead or Alive series, he's had this to say. I believe those of you who actually have the game in your hands are more satisfied with how interesting and fun the game is. Unfortunately, the scores we've been receiving in Europe are pretty awful. For me, I value the feedback you guys can offer much more. Please enjoy the game for yourself. The media can't change their stripes, but real gamers will have fun.
Is he talking about Tony the Tiger again?
I just love this, don't you? Where it's kind of like if someone says, your movie is the worst thing ever. Why on earth did you have that scene where that man just shit for 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, guys. Listen to these snobby critics over here. I think you moviegoers are going to have a real good time at the cinema if you go see my movie, Man Shitter.
You probably like the shit scene better than most critics do.
I just like it when they're just like, don't listen to those critics.
Yeah, like fans of shit are going to find this, and they're going to love it.
Let me break it down for you. The critics, all of them, absolutely hate my creation. But don't let that stop you from buying it.
Well, he said European critics, so you think he's got like 1 or 2 good reviews?
No.
No, nobody?
No.
Nobody likes it?
No. Some people are either like, yeah, this is just really average too. This is really awful.
Oh.
It looks pretty bad. Toot toot! Minecraft Story Mode is officially getting a boxed release copy. Yes, that's the upcoming Telltale adventure game starring those crazy Minecrafters in Minecraft world as they learn to craft the mine.
I am shocked at how popular Minecraft is. It's like Pokemon times 20 right now.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I mean,
like I was working at this bookstore. We got like 20 Minecraft books in every day. Like there's all these series of Minecraft books coming out.
They sold out every day.
Kids are just buying these things like crazy. And they're trying to get their parents to read the Minecraft books. Like, hey, there's like a beginner's guide to Minecraft or something that like the parents are like, well, my kid's making me read this. Wants me to know what Minecraft's about.
I feel so bad for those parents. Honestly, I would just drop those kids off at the bus station and leave them $50.
The bus station.
And just drive the hell away.
Hey, you guys want to go play Minecraft somewhere else for a while? Got an uncle in Tucson.
Our breaking news today. A man in Tucson has 1 million Minecraft kids in his house. Toot toot. All right. Well, oh, wait a minute. We have to go back. The PlayStation 4 and Xbox One version will be out on November 11th, as well as the old gen versions on November 30th. That is a physical release for you. It'll probably be around $30. Maybe even $20.
Hey, where's this hype train going to?
Toot toot. Resident Evil Origins collection is going to be coming to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. This collection includes Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil Remastered HD, whatever you want to call it. The remake from the GameCube that was ported over to the PlayStation 4. They'll both be on a single disc and will arrive early 2016 alongside Resident Evil 0 Remastered. You like the Resident Evil 0
Yeah,
game.
I highly recommend Resident Evil 0 for somebody who hasn't played it before.
But why? Because it's bad.
It's not that bad.
It gets really... I'm just saying that game coils. Like at
Really?
first...
I remember making it all the way through and not really having any problems.
Once you get to where the bugs, and then there's bugs everywhere, I'm just like, this is boring. Fighting bugs. I want to fight the zombie. Don't make me fight the bugs.
Yeah, the bugs was okay. I don't know. I guess I actually enjoyed the storyline aspect.
Bugs was okay.
Yeah, the bugs are fine.
That's like Sylvester Stallone when they ask about the movie Ants. Bugs was okay. Like he doesn't even know what it's called.
That was on it was on the GameCube, right? 0?
Yeah, it was. It was GameCube exclusive.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I was pretty impressed with the graphics at the time. And,
no, the graphics were the best Resident Evil graphics. I think they were even better in some ways than Resident Evil 4 because they were static backgrounds.
I think back at that point, I actually was kind of enthralled with the Resident Evil storyline. Like
I got out as soon as as soon as Code Veronica showed up. I was like, well, now they're making this.
It was just fan service where they want you to play as Chris, right? Or is it?
It was Claire and Chris.
Yeah, that's right.
This was this was Rebecca, and that escaped prisoner are in Zero. Rebecca Chambers and whatever, because that's how she gets.
How do you remember these characters?
Because that's how she gets to the mansion, and that's when Chris finds her. You know.
I'm the one who likes these games, and you remember everything about.
Wait, I love Resident Evil. Sorry about that. Thought you were one of them. Toot toot. Fallout Monopoly is a thing that is happening. If you like Monopoly and you like Fallout, that is a thing for you to have and enjoy.
We were just talking about this earlier. I don't get who is playing Monopoly anymore.
Yeah.
They've got every different kind. You want to play Major League Baseball Monopoly?
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the exact same as the Batman Monopoly.
Ugh.
You want to play Kart Racer Monopoly?
This is what called Kart Racer Monopoly.
No, it doesn't exist yet.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I still think that.
What would Boardwalk be in Kart Racer Monopoly?
Justin, please shut the fuck up. We have just signed a deal for PRESSURECAST Monopoly, and I don't want you fucking this up.
Who's going to be Boardwalk? It's
me. I'm everything. Because they
free parking. Park at my studio.
Yeah, they based this off of my solo episodes. They just cut the wrong week, man. I'm sorry.
Yikes! Were you doing advertisements this week?
They got pieces such as my shoe, my car, my head, my hat.
Your famous hat. Do you have both hats?
Both hats.
What are the playing? Oh, those are playing pieces.
Those are the playing pieces.
What do you got? Community chests. What are those?
The community chests?
Yeah, the cards.
Those are iTunes reviews that say, I missed the other guy that used to be on the show.
What about jail? Do you have a jail in there?
Yeah, it's
my room.
Yeah, it's Stitcher, because no one fucking listens to the show on Stitcher.
No one goes to Stitcher. Wow, this is pretty candid.
I know.
What else can I ask you this week?
TuneIn Radios are doing us great. We've been having great ratings lately.
Stitcher, get to work.
Stitcher, absolutely nobody listens to it on Stitcher. TuneIn Radio is just like, whew. We just like the numbers got better.
I don't know if anybody actually uses Stitcher. That's probably the problem.
Well, yeah, but you know what? Even, no matter how much the listenership goes up, I always like to remind people the quality remains the same.
Actually, it might get better. It might get better.
It might be going back down.
I think it's improving.
All right, well, that's gonna do it. For the hype train. What do you say we come back and talk about the games of the week, as well as the oldie financial and legal news and strong history, idiot of the week, pocket talk. We're already halfway done with all the stories, so this won't take too long, listeners.
I say that we talk about all the financial stuff. That sounds fun.
Well, we're going to talk about the games of the week because we got to talk about Metal Gear.
I say we talk about pocket talk. That sounds great.
Justin, well, I'll be back.
How about strong history?
We'll see if Justin will be back. So stay tuned for more stuff.
Oh, hey, where you been?
Oh, hey, Justin. Sorry, I've been gone for 5 days because I decided I want to go to the post office to mail this letter.
Oh, they got a new girl working down there?
No, it's not that. It's just, it takes forever to wait in line. And they close early, so I had to sleep there because I had to save my place in line. It's an absolute war zone over there.
I call a line a queue. Yeah,
that's true. Queue up. That's what I say. Oh, my God. But there's no other way to just mail postage without going to the goddamn post office. And sometimes I want to mail a package, but it just doesn't fit in the mail slot. And then I get sent back to me because, it wasn't right. You didn't weigh this properly.
Remember that time I went to the post office and they just smashed my package?
That was insane.
They just smashed it right in front of me.
Wait a minute. What's this over here? Stamps.com. Hey, wait a minute here. It says that Stamps.com, you can just make mailing packages your way. That's right. Whenever you feel like it, you can actually print out your own postage, put it right on the package, give it to the mailman, say, hello, sir. I will not be going to the place you work because I hate it. Well, maybe don't tell him that. He might cry. You don't want to make the postman or lady cry. And then from there, they just mail it right for you. In fact, if you sign up with the promo code Autumn, that's right, promo code AUTUMN by September 30th, you'll get $5 of free postage, $40 in postage coupons after the free trial, a 5-pound digital scale so that you'll get the exact measurements for when you ship out something, as well as a welcome guide and free postage labels. And all you got to do is go to Stamps.com and type in Autumn, and you'll get $100 of free stuff.
You know what? I actually use stamps.com. I actually had the scale.
Yeah, what do you like? Do you like the scale?
Yeah, I really enjoy it because I was going out. I was sending like package by package because if you do like an eBay store and an Amazon store, you're going to be sending out a lot of different things all the time.
So your business was improved thanks to stamps.com.
Yeah, you just put the thing on the scale and then you print the postage right off of the computer. Well, it's really simple.
That's it then. I'm going home and signing up for stamps.com, but first, I'm going to take a shower.
You are starting to smell pretty bad.
Shut up. Back to the show. Okay, here we go now. We are going to talk about what's been going on this week in the games of the week. Justin.
Yes.
You might be wondering why you haven't seen me lately. And it's not just because I was at the post office. It is because I've been in Afghanistan. Yeah, that's right. Afghanistan. I even went to the wasteland, and I even went over to Japan because I've been playing 3 games that are rather interesting.
So you didn't mean you actually went?
Well, and I also played Grow Home. Let's start off with the biggest game, I think, so far of the year. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. This is the 5th or 7th or... who knows? There's over 10 Metal Gear games. But when it comes to Metal Gear Solid, the official releases, this is the 5th one. It takes place in the 1980s. There's no spoilers here, so please do not worry. I'm not interested in spoiling the story because I was very worried about someone doing that to me, and that's why I don't read comments on any stories about Metal Gear whatsoever because everybody's like, oh, look, Big Boss is actually a unicorn. This is a game where you do play as Big Boss, though. The same character from Peace Walker, Portable Ops, and of course the original 2 Metal Gears,
yes,
as well as Snake Eater. And what's interesting about this game is, unlike other Metal Gear games, this is an open world game. But there's really nothing to do. This sounds weird.
You're not really selling me on it so far.
No, hear me out on this. Okay, so like in other open world games, you will. You'll be driving around and they'll be like, oh, just get an ambulance and then you can pick up people and take them to the hospital. Or, here's the rampage mode. Just go over here. What this game does that's so incredible is that you are dropped into different locations. They're all very, very big. But the first one is Afghanistan. I don't want to talk about any of the ones because I don't want to spoil it. And from there, you just have to complete missions. You've got your main missions and you've got your side ops. To do the main missions, you have to get into the helicopter and actually select it. It'll have like an intro cutscene that it has credits over it, just like it's an episode of a TV show and it has credits whenever it ends. But the side ops, you just go from place to place and it'll just say, hey, you're in this area. You want to do this? And so instead of just having these kind of generic randomized events, they still have it like that.
You can just say no to all these? Or?
Yeah, you could just walk right through it and not do it. But they're all really meaningful. Like, for instance, one of them is just, hey, there's a minefield right here. Can you take care of these mines? So it's actually more of a statement about war in the 80s where it's like, people just left mines everywhere. Can you go and take care of these? And then you'll get paid by like an international company. Or, hey, there's these elite soldiers here. Can you get rid of them? Or can you blow up this tank? Or there's a lot of diamonds over here, or there's a legendary gunsmith. Can you capture him?
Oh, man, that sounds awesome. I wish I was playing this game.
Capture him? How do you capture people in this game?
Do you use stealth?
Yep, use stealth. But here's what's crazy about it. In Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, because this game is a lot like Peace Walker, they introduced the Photon system, which is an actual thing that was created back in the 60s, though they have taken a lot of liberties with it. What you do is, when you knock somebody unconscious or they're on the ground, you attach this balloon to them. The balloon just like fills up and then it just shoots up into the air and you hear the helicopter like, what? No! And then it's like, we got him, boss. And then they're on your base. And from there, they're like, yeah, we're run by Big Boss. And like, holy shit, Big Boss. So they join your side. So they'll start working in your R&D department. They'll start building you better weapons. They'll go into your medical lab so that people heal faster in case they're injured. They'll actually go out on missions for you and bring back money, more recruits, and new supplies and blueprints to build more items. It's bonkers good.
So you get just a ton of recruits? Is there hundreds of them? Or?
Yeah, there's a bunch of different recruits. Early on in the game, you get these binoculars that allow you to actually... Well, the binoculars, let's talk about that for a moment. The binoculars you use to actually scout out all the areas. And whenever you see somebody, it automatically tags them.
Okay.
And so that way, when you're walking around, you'll see like this little silver outline behind the wall. Because there's no radar system in this game. So you just have to rely on looking at that outline and where the markers are. And you can actually just tag anything you want. So you're like, oh, this guy has like A+ on combat or A+ on R&D. I'm going to mark him because I want to capture him. So, you'll crawl in there all stealthily, shoot him with the tranquilizer dart, shoot him up into the air, and then just do whatever you will. And it's so I'm not gonna talk about the story, but there really aren't a whole lot of cutscenes in this game, which is surprising because
that's great.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4 was mostly cutscenes. I kind of missed
a little bit of a turn off.
I kind of miss the cutscenes. I really do because they were so bonkers weird.
I'd like it if they integrated those cutscenes sort of into the game a little bit more.
They are integrated more into the game. It's more like every other game where it's like, oh, this is like a 2-minute cutscene, where you're hanging out with some of the troops and they'll just have a conversation. I don't want to even say who the characters are in the game. I just want you to know that there's Big Boss. And, I got to be real with you. When I was playing this game for the longest time, it just wasn't quite clicking with me. It wasn't quite working because I'd be like, oh, how'd that guy spot me from so far away?
I had that problem with 4 a little bit.
But the thing is that the way that they represent spotting is that it'll be like this weird white glow. Like there's a circle in the center of the screen and there's just like a glow to it, like this white static look to it where people are think they see something. And you could just ignore it because they're going to go check out that area. And if you're not there, they're just going to walk back. So who cares? But, kind of adapting to that. And even if they do spot you, they go into like this slow motion mode where they go, oh my God, everything slows down. And you can just shoot them in the head with a tranquilizer dart. But what's cool about it is this game has a ton of music. Like Kids in America and David Bowie because it takes place in the 80s. And there was a point where they were playing Kids in America on this boombox. And I walked up and the guy turned around. And he went, oh my God. In the background, you're, we're the kids in America. Like, even the music was slowing down.
Huh.
It was so incredible. But this open world is so interesting because it has this amazing weather system when you're in Afghanistan. There's snowstorms, which means there's limited visibility, which means you can actually take advantage of that and sneak into other environments. And then there's the buddy system. You can have a horse, you can have a troop, which I don't want to name what the troop is, but it's a very special person, or the dog. And the dog is incredible. The dog will just be like, hey, there's a soldier there, and there's a soldier there. Oh, and here's a plant that you can pick up. Oh, and here's a weapon right here.
Like the dog from that Dexter's Laboratory episode?
Yeah, you know what I realized by playing this game is that no wonder dogs are insane because they have the brain of a 2-year-old and, like, amazing senses. Like, imagine a 2-year-old. Just look at how 2-year-olds react to everything. Imagine if they could, like, hear from a mile away.
Super excited about everything all the time.
They go insane. They'd be like, oh, my God, there is a flower 2 miles from here.
How big is the world? How big is the open...
Well, it doesn't feel that big at first because you'll just be going from mission to mission using your helicopter. But last night I was like, I just want to crank out because I'm already in different environments. I was like, I'm going to go to Afghanistan and just like beat all the side activities. And I took my dog instead of the horse. So it took me a little bit longer. So I ran from location to location on almost the entire map. And it just made me realize how diverse and well thought out this entire area is. Like the way that there's these long stretches of desert. And then there's these mountainous areas. And if you're turned off from the game from having like these mountain ranges where you can't climb over them, don't worry. The other environments are more flat land. This is more of an educational stage. You can straight up steal Jeeps and cars. Once you upgrade your Fulton enough, you can attach the balloons to Jeeps. And then you have a bunch of Jeeps at your base.
Oh, cool. What's your base like?
It takes place on an ocean pier, whatever those things are. Just like it did in Phantom Pain, or Peace Walker. Because this is a lot like Peace Walker, but it's an open world. And... like that, just going through that open world and just experiencing all these different places and just scouting out and be like, oh, he's A+, or like I C-. And I'm mostly playing non-violent, but I'm trying to get more violent. Because if you ever played Metal Gear Solid 3 or 2, they really encourage you not to kill people. And this game still gives you a bonus for not killing people when you complete a mission. But like, just for the sake of the game, trying to enjoy it more, I took out my sniper rifle, was just picking off people. And watching the way the troops react is kind of amazing. Like, I would always show up at night, because whenever you do a mission, you could say, get me there as soon as possible. I want to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning, or I want to be there at 1800 hours. So you can be there at sunrise or sunset. So you get to decide when you're going to do this. Do you want the more limited visibility for yourself and the enemies? Or do you want to be more likely to see an enemy from far off distance, but they can also see you? So I did a bunch of night missions, and I noticed that after a while, it was getting harder and harder, and everyone was starting to wear helmets. I couldn't get headshots to knock them out anymore. I'm like, wait a minute. Is this because I keep shooting them in the head? So I switched over to daytime. There was hardly anybody there. Kept playing that for a while. And then the troops started building up. So I went to nighttime and no one was there. They recognize your patterns and start designing around that. But I'll be real with you. If you go out and pick up this game today, if you're anything like me and you have played Peace Walker, I think the game's sort of a letdown initially. But as you get more invested into the different gameplay mechanics, as you start understanding the systems a bit more, as soon as you start picking up a dozen different plants, getting a brand new rocket launcher, building up new Fultons, getting new troops, assigning to different missions, you never want to stop playing it. It's insane.
Well, I had one question. What's the tone like? Is it... pretty casual, like fun.
It's casual fun, but the actual story is pretty dark. There are some scenes of interrogation and torture already with characters that you know, and it's brutal. It's really brutal. The first hour of the game is mostly cutscenes, and then the rest of the game doesn't have cutscenes. But there are just people being murdered en masse. It's really violent.
I just remember the fourth one is just so dark and like post-apocalyptic. It's kind of depressing.
It is, but at the same time, there was a monkey that drank a lot of Coca-Cola. So I don't know if you can really see how dark that game was.
Nice postmodern touch there.
I love all the Metal Gear games, and that's something I do want to stress is I am a Metal Gear fan. My one concern is that people are going to play this game and go, oh, so that's what Metal Gear is. But it really isn't. Metal Gear is a very linear game that has multiple different play styles. And if I have to say if there's anything that makes me kind of sad is that as many options as you have to your approaches in different individual bases, you still don't have the same level of customizable what am I looking for? The interactive environments. The environments aren't as interactive as the previous games.
Oh, yeah.
Where you'd have those small moments like where you break the dick off of that statue. In Metal Gear Solid 4.
Or all the locker stuff.
I mean, you can hide in toilets now, which is pretty great.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something. So, I mean, just for whenever I'm playing this game, it's like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm done with this game. It's like, oh, hold on, I unlocked this new weapon. And then I press the button and it goes, oh, it'll be unlocked in 18 minutes. I'm like, all right, I guess I can play for another 18 minutes until that weapon's unlocked. And while it's being unlocked, I'm capturing all these guys. It's like, hey, you increase this area for medicine, so you get this other item. It's like, oh, I've been waiting for that. Oh, and I got to send these guys on a mission. You never want to stop playing.
And the more guys you get, probably the more different stuff you have going on that keeps coming in. Or
at first, but you really do want to get picky about who you're putting on your team. Because at first I was just like, everybody's going.
Everybody's going to R&D?
Everybody's going. And there was like nobody in this base after like 20 minutes. And I would go out of my way to start fucking with the guys where I would actually grab the guy while he was unconscious and then drop him right in front of his friend, attach the Fulton so that his friend would turn around and go, what the? Just watch the balloon.
Oh, wow.
And then run up and punch him in the face with my arm, which they have different arms. You can unlock different arms in this game.
Spoiler alert.
There's a lot to it. It's weird. It took me about until last night for it to completely get its hooks in me. But now that I'm there,
how many hours have you put into it?
Oh my god,
is that a tough question? I'm grilling you over here.
Lost
track already, huh?
God, it's got to be like 15, 16 hours already.
Oh, okay.
Wait, I didn't even realize I played that long. But I started breaking it down. It's like that's been about 4 hours a day for the past 5. It's maybe more like 20 hours. It's wow. Is that possible? Because I feel like I haven't done anything yet.
Oh yeah.
I guarantee you, if you play it though, you'd be like,
it's supposed to be 300 hours long or something like that.
I have no idea, but I guarantee you, if you bought it, you're gonna be like, this is okay, because at first it's rather limited, but it is sort of like Monster Hunter, because that's what Peace Walker was like. It's a fantastic game.
I don't know, the way you're describing it really sells me on it.
I know, but I heard a lot of people say the exact same things, but I didn't feel that until last night. When I ran through Afghanistan, my favorite thing to do is find these soldiers. Your soldiers have gone missing over the past few years, and you have to find them. And when you find them, they're always by themselves, and they have the weirdest animations. They like wave they're like a wacky inflatable tube guy. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, okay.
And they just run away and go and like it's so goofy. And
they've really truly been away from civilization.
And the first one would just like run up and punch me in the face until I shot him with a tranquilizer dart. The second one was a grenade expert. Okay. So he would just throw grenades at me while I was trying to get him and wave his arms around. And I took out my rubber bullets and stunned him. So that was cool. God, I like just talking like I think we can wrap up the show so I can go play more. I'm not
a lot of varieties of guns in there.
Oh my God, sniper rifles, rocket launchers, different types of pistols. There's so many different guns. And just like using vehicles. There was one point where I had to blow up these tanks and I found a missile launcher, like this type of truck. And I was just driving backwards and just shooting all these missiles, huge explosions. There are some frame rate issues here or there, but they're very minor and few and far between. And just, God, like while you're on a mission, you just open up your menu because he has like a hologram on his wrist. And it's all in real time. So while you're waiting for like, I don't know, for the night team to take over some base, you're just like, okay, I need you guys to go invade here. And cool, I'll see you guys in 20 minutes. I'm going to make sure we invest on upgrading my pistol over here. That'll take 20 minutes. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to get that guy. Oh, he's a level A. Okay, all right. You never... It takes a while for it to sort of, to become solid. I hate to say it.
So it's liquid for a minute.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, it takes a little bit to get into, but once you're in it, man, it's good. And by the way, it's not Big Boss, and it's not Naked Snake. He is Venom Snake in this game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's been through some shit. That's all I'm gonna say. But the game is out there, man. I'll tell you off show, so I don't want to spoil it for people here.
I get to find out.
Okay, let me run through the rest of the games real quick. Wait, what were you playing this week?
I've been playing Binding of Isaac, and I've been having a lot of fun with it.
Well, take a few minutes. What do you got?
Oh, okay. Basically, it's the 2D roguelike. Reminds me kind of a Smash TV, but the level design is exactly like a Zelda dungeon.
Can you shoot in 8 ways?
No, you can only shoot 4 directions. But you get all these different there's power-ups that affect the way that you're shooting your tiers. Because you're a 5-year-old boy, I think it's 5-year-old, whose mom is trying to kill him, so he locks himself in the basement.
Yeah, because she gets super insane, right? Something happens to her.
It's very religious game, too. All the characters you unlock are from, like, religious prophecy, but it's kind of poking fun at religion at the same time. There's, like, poop monsters you're fighting and, like, giant, like, really gross-looking... But all the bosses are really gross-looking. They're kind of random. There's, like, 200 different bosses, and you just kind of get one at random every time you go to into these different boss rooms. There's 5 different floors on every run through you do.
What were you playing this on?
Vita.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably just keep playing Vita games every week.
It's an underutilized system. But so you already beat this game, right?
Yeah, I beat it once, but you definitely want to just keep going through. You keep unlocking characters. There's a ton of characters. New items. There's always combinations of items. You can combine a lot of things different ways.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I tried to play this game. I couldn't understand what the hell was going on. They don't tell you what the items do.
No, they don't. There's a lot of items where it doesn't tell you what they do. And you can only figure it out by, like, you playing while you have that item equipped a lot. You figure a lot of it out. You see the same things over and over, and at some point you're like, oh, it's that one that does this.
I mean, in terms of difficulty, where is this?
It's really hard, but there's some really overpowered items that you can get. Like, I had this... you get this little shadow that's following you around. It said that it was called, like, Daddy's Home or something. And this little shadow...
What does that mean, Daddy's Home?
Well, this little shadow will go over an enemy that you're fighting, and all of a sudden this giant, like, deformed leg comes down and will just crush whatever's there. So that was the first time I beat it. I just had this leg that was just killing things, which apparently is, like, your father figure in the game. It's really messed up. Really dark game, but pretty funny. A lot of just twisted sound effects and stuff.
There's a new expansion coming out for it. Ascension?
Ascension, okay.
I don't know if that's coming out on the Vita version. I imagine it is because it's the same as the PlayStation 4 and PS3 version. So hopefully they'll update that.
It's just endlessly replayable. I'll probably have a different experience next week when I come back, and I feel like I'm still getting a hang of a lot of the gameplay mechanisms.
Which is weird because how long did it take you to beat it?
Yeah, maybe 10 hours.
That's wow. Okay, so it's actually pretty sizable. Because when I played it, I was like, I don't know, is this like a 3-hour game or something?
Yeah, it's all about the replay value. Like any of the rogues, you just want to go through again and again and again.
Man, so how much does this cost?
$14.99, my friend.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, for the amount of time I'm going to put into it, it's a great deal.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm glad that you're talking about Vita games because honestly, Vita just doesn't get the love that it deserves. It absolutely fucking breaks my heart that people do not play the Vita. It's a better. I honestly think it's the 3DS is a fantastic system. Mm-hmm. It's an amazing system. It has amazing experiences. Zelda, Mario, even something like Codename Steam, Pokemon,
Fire Emblem.
Oh my God, Fire Emblem.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Best.
Oh my God. But I think people don't seem to understand that the Vita is as good. Not that it's better. It's as good. Because it has these independent titles that, sure, you can play them anywhere else, but you can play them on a portable that has the best controls, the best buttons.
Best graphics for a portable.
Oh, my God. It's unbelievable.
It's incredible. It looks as good as PS3 a lot of the time.
It looks better than phones a lot of the time. And a lot of people don't realize that because it's a single SKU, every game is optimized for that SKU, whereas phones is kind of all over the place sometimes. And I'm not saying that, something like Crossy Road doesn't look good, but that's an exception, whereas a lot of these other games just kind of look generic and they don't have the right controller. And I don't know. I wish more people would give the Vita a chance.
Give the Vita a chance.
Hashtag give Vita a chance.
I'll make a strong case every week here.
Give Vita a chance because it already has the letter or the letter.
Give my cousin Vito a chance here.
The letter There you go. Yeah, that's me. Real quick, I did play an hour of Mad Max. I didn't really have a whole lot of time with it because I was trying to get to other games. Mad Max is basically a open world game where you run around and punch people. Surprisingly enough, there's really not a whole lot of guns.
Oh, really? Well, yeah. It's about the cars always.
It is. You run around, punch people, Batman combat. You collect more gas for your car, and you upgrade your vehicle. And you even have a harpoon on your vehicle that can pull down these towers, which is actually super satisfying. The only issue really is that the car doesn't drive great. Apparently it gets better, but it just doesn't.
If it's all about driving, you gotta have a good.
Maybe it's because I'm early. Maybe it's supposed to like upgrade, and then it's like, oh, now it feels good. But I don't think that's. I think. That's not the type of upgrade that you want, you know? Like, I don't know. It reminds you a lot of, like, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater with the created character. When you start off that game, the character controls pretty good, but he controls amazing later on when you have 100% control.
Oh, yeah.
You know? But, like, this game, it feels like it's in the negative digits of control at first.
Is there a lot of customization in there?
Not really.
Do you get to make your own guys at max?
No, it's just max. I don't know.
It's a cool enough character.
I guess a lot of people say it's just not as crazy as they were hoping. It's not as crazy as the movies, but whatever. Yeah. I don't know. Check it out. It doesn't seem as bad as the reviews are making it out to be, but I can see how it's sort of a letdown. Grow Home is a platformer where you basically grow a giant plant, and then as a robot, you have to use left and right triggers to climb up that plant and activate another plant that grows even taller, that grows into an island. And a floating island in the sky that you have to grow more plants to grow up higher in the sky.
So is there any point where you're just like, can I just hang out here?
It's cool. No, it's really fun.
Where I got to?
It's in theory really, really fun to just grow this plant. And because you have to, it's mammoth. You're like on top of like 5 skyscrapers after every point. And it's like, whoa, this is so cool. The only problem is that, my God, the controls are so loose.
Oh,
They're
come on.
so loose that you just fall off all the time. That's all I want to give it to. Grow Home, it's free on PlayStation Plus. Check it out if you want. Don't if you don't. Danganronpa, another episode, Ultra Despair Girls.
I'm excited about this one.
Just want to give a quick shout out to that game. It starts off with this girl that's basically been locked in a room for literally a year and a half. Finally, the door opens up, and there are just bears killing people on the streets.
That's actually kind of a spoiler if you haven't played the first 2.
Yeah, I guess that's how. I guess it takes place between 1 and 2, and it's I don't know. It's kind of fun. It's mostly just story, but there is a third-person shooter mechanic where you have to walk around and shoot these bears in their right eye that activates power-ups. And I don't know. As far as story goes, it's hilarious because it's all these middle schoolers that are killing people and. And their names are like, my name is Little Homeroom.
Oh,
because
yeah,
I'm the best at homeroom.
Everybody's the best at something in that game. That's how.
Yeah, but this one kid is Little PE. It's just ridiculous.
The best physical education class guy.
Yeah, it's the stupidest thing I've ever played, and I really love it. And I want to go play the other Danganronpas, which you like a lot, right?
I love the first one. I need to play the second one still.
I know, man.
I'm dying to play it actually. Once I get $30.
Man, when I get $30,
the world will be my oyster.
This is what's gonna happen next. I'll tell you what. Okay, are we good?
What do you mean? Yeah, that's all I had to say. I didn't play it. You played it.
Okay, good.
Dumbass.
Well, I see it's getting a little hostile in here. Maybe we just need a breath of fresh air. So, what do you say we go outside?
This is great.
It's always such a pleasure to be inside.
Have a big drink of water here.
The Chart Park, the land where money grows on trees. Yes, the Chart Park. This is the part of the show where we talk about all the financial and business and legal news in the video game industry and where we will find out which fat cats of Wall Street will tip their top hats towards Lady Luck. Kicking it off with Nintendo, they have launched a digital store for Wii U and 3DS games on Amazon. Oh, how far we've come. Before, Amazon and Nintendo didn't get along. Now they do apparently, because you can go right on there and purchase games for your systems. Unlike PlayStation Network and Xbox Live though, you're not getting game codes, you're getting direct links to your system. So still no option to gift people games.
Because I want more games, Colin.
I know, I'm working on it, man. I'm trying so hard. Just give me a second.
Do you think this is more of Amazon's thing than Nintendo's? Is Amazon still just trying to get involved in the gaming a little bit?
Probably, but like this is all Nintendo. Nintendo would never allow for it unless they want it to happen. And honestly, I think this is Nintendo prepping for the NX because I think that's going to have more of a system like this. And they want
less physical cartridges.
Probably. Well, we have that patent for a diskless system. So who knows?
We're going back to cartridges.
Yeah, finally. Up next, Harmonix is going to be turning to Fig to crowdfund their next game. We have no idea what the game is, but we do know that Alex Rigopoulos.
Rigopoulos?
Yes. Rigopoulos. He has a Greek name. Very difficult with the Greek names. He's the CCO of
CC.
Harmonix. And he's going to be going to Fig. If you're going, what is Fig? Kind of like Kickstarter, but you actually, it's only for video games, and you need to meet a certain criteria to invest in games because you're actually going to receive a return on your investment, hypothetically. So that's just kind of interesting. We have no word on what Harmonix is working on. This isn't the very first time they turned to crowdfunding, though, because they obviously have that Amplitude game coming out. And I think they were even going to go to Kickstarter for that shooter, but they canceled it. They had that shooter that they were working on for a bit.
It looked pretty good, actually.
I liked it, too.
Looked like fun.
Up next, we have Marty O'Donnell. Yes, the former employee over at Bungie who did all the music for Halo and even worked on Destiny. Apparently, he's going to be a very rich man now, even though he only won $142,000 from a lawsuit against Bungie. He also got $95,000 of unpaid work and vacation time.
And he got a ton of shares or stocks or something.
192,187.5 Bungie shares. And it's that 0.5 that really makes all the difference right there. Why was he fired exactly? Well, no one knows for sure, though according to the ruling, he was fired without cause. The issue stemmed when they actually removed his music that he had done with some guy named Paul McCartney. Probably some fly-by-night guy.
Is that the Wings guy?
Yeah, he might have been the bassist or something. Some guy named Paul McCartney and Marty O'Donnell made a song for Destiny. It was made for the E3 trailer. The E3 trailer went up, and the music had been replaced by Activision music. He was really upset about that. Bungie took his side, but sooner or later, Bungie just went, never mind. We just got to give up.
Dude, we got to just make games here.
and O'Donnell actually said that this is all an issue with, quote, Activision's encroachment into artistic decisions, saying that Bungie was losing their identity. And then after a while, he was just let go. They just found him to be too squeaky of a wheel. So,
give him the oil, man.
Sounds like Bungie sucks now.
Sounds like they're not bunching it like they used to.
Yes. Ashton Kutcher, famous video game designer Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah. Wow, remember the Punked game?
Yeah, the Punked game was crazy. He's actually just invested in Unicron, which is a gambling esports thing. This is really complicated. Hang on tight, kids. This is going to be a website where people can watch esports and gamble on it, not with real money, but they can win real prizes. You might be able to put money into the system, but you're not going to get money out. But you could win something like an Alienware PC. Important to point out that, Ashton Kutcher, he has had some pretty good investments in the past. He helped out with SoundCloud and Uber.
Oh, really?
I know, right? As well as Airbnb and Foursquare.
Wow, okay, he's been on fire then. Is this a little like a salty bet kind of thing, or?
I guess it'll be like Salty Bet, but you actually win real prizes. By the way, if you've never been to Salty Bet, go on Twitch and watch Salty Bet.
Is it still the same as it was a year ago? Oh man, it was so great.
My favorite thing to watch was when they had that tiny Spawn fighting Garfield the cat in the middle of a desert. It was the best match I've ever seen. So good.
They have tournaments every once in a while, which are a lot of fun to watch.
I love those. Up next, we have Mega Man is going to be a mega movie. That's right, 20th Century Fox and Sharon Entertainment have announced that they are going to begin development on a Mega Man movie. The people that were behind the Planet of the Apes films are involved in this project.
Those movies are great, by the way, if you haven't seen the new Planet of the Apes.
I have not. I don't like apes.
I'm just pulling for Rick Moranis as Dr. Light.
I just don't... Oh, wow.
He's coming out of retirement for Ghostbusters.
Oh, jeez.
Move right onto Mega Man.
I built this robot. It's a boy.
Oh, honey, I built the robot.
Oh, honey, I built the robot. Up next, Apple, of course, is interested in getting into video games. We know that for sure now because they're launching at Apple Store Games a brand new Twitch channel.
Steve Jobs is turning in his grave right now.
Okay, here's the thing. They had an advertisement on Twitter. It was like a GIF where it looked like The Legend of Zelda. And it said, "It's dangerous to go alone. Take us." And a bunch of like hipsters, like bald guy with a goatee, wearing like a punk rock shirt, and they're all in pixel art. Get it, Zelda? Get it?
Rolling my
Zelda?
eyes here.
No, get it. Do you get it? It's from Zelda 1. Yeah. That's an old game. That's an old game.
But now you can...
No. It's an old game, but it's us. We like games. Can't you tell? It's an old game, and it's us who you know that we actually like games. We're not faking it. We like the games.
Okay, but what if I don't want to be a hipster? What if I want to be a regular guy?
You don't have to be. You just have to watch us. It's dangerous to go alone. Take us.
Who are we taking?
All your bases are belong to App Store Games.
They wouldn't dig that deep.
It's pathetic. It's nauseating. I wanted to. I
So we can expect to see a couple Zelda ripoffs within the next couple of years.
You know, if they put up, even if they put up something that's sort of cliche, like what is a Twitch channel? Nothing but a miserable pile of App Store games. I would be like, oh yeah, all right, let's go.
Nanosaur.
Well, we do know that Apple TV is going to be trying to include games of some sort. There's a report saying that the brand new 4th generation Apple TV will have something a little bit more game-centric in a way. It will have a better processor.
Video poker or something on there?
It's actually going to have a ability with Bluetooth to connect to game controllers. So that's something.
Yeah.
That ain't nothing.
That's true. That is something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Find some independent developers or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Sounds okay. Or, just buy ports for games that are already on Steam and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So
that
those Apple stores are going into our TVs, but now we have stores that are on our TVs that are going into real stores, with GameStop's Think Geek becoming a physical location.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know. It's like Hot Topic, but cleaner.
Slightly cleaner. Probably not much cleaner.
No.
It's cleaner than Spencer's Gifts, though.
Let's God bless the Queen with the UK charts. These are the top 10 best-selling games in the UK right now. Number 10 is Minecraft Xbox Edition. Number 9 is Minecraft Batman Arkham Knight. Number 8 is Minecraft PlayStation Edition. Number 7 is Dishonored Definitive Edition. Number 6 is Grand Theft Auto 5. Number 5 is Lego Jurassic World. Number 4 is Madden NFL 16 in the UK.
You gotta be happy about the Jurassic World falling a little bit, right?
Yeah. I wish it would go extinct. Number 3 is Disney Infinity 3.0. Number 2 is Until Dawn. Good for them. And number 1 is Gears of War Ultimate Edition. But what about Japan?
That's what I care about.
Well, let's find out where the 10 best-selling games in Japan. Number 1 from last week is now number 10 with Super Robot Wars BX. Number 9 is Rhythm Heaven The Best Plus. Number 8 is Famicom Remix Best Choice. Oh, it's the best choice. Can't argue with that.
You can't do any better than that.
That's on the 3DS. That's the same thing as NES Remix. Number 7 is TV Anime The Isle of Masters Cinderella Girls G4U Pack Volume 4. Number 6 is Until Dawn. Number 5 is Splatoon. Number 4 is Dragon's Dogma Online Limited Edition. Number 3 is Yokai Watchbusters Red Cat Team White Dog Squad!
Good morning, Vietnam.
Number 2 is Animal Crossing Happy Home Designers. And number 1 is Dragon Quest VIII Journey of the Cursed King on the 3DS.
Oh, I'm excited for that one.
It's a re-release.
Is it out already?
In Japan.
I don't want to play it. It's a re-release.
Here are the best-selling consoles over in Japan. New 3DS LL with 38,498, PlayStation 4 with 18,539, PlayStation Vita with 12,125, Wii U with 11,781, new 3DS with 7,089, PlayStation 3 with 2,571, 3DS with 2,216, 3DS LL with 1,116, PlayStation Vita TV with 567, and in last place,
yeah, it's my favorite.
8 units up from last week, 168 for the Xbox One. And that will do it for the Chart Park, the land where money grows on trees. It's time for big talk in a small world.
Yes.
This week on Dragon Ball Z, it's Pocket Talk. Let's get tiny. It's time for Pocket Talk.
Oh, sorry.
Cell's flying around. What's he doing?
He's entering his second form.
This is a weird show. I don't watch it. I just show up to the studio, I read what they say, I go home and drink my gin.
There's no people left in the world. What is this?
How'd the pink guy kill everybody? There's a lot of people in the world. This doesn't make any sense.
I better start watching.
I tried watching last week. It didn't make any sense. Wait, when did they learn to fly? They never cover that in the show. When did they learn to fly? They really don't. They never explain when they learn to fly.
You just do it, man.
Okay. Starting off Pocket Talk, Pokemon Shuffle has launched on mobile platforms on iOS and Android. This, of course, was available on the 3DS, which had 2.5 million downloads in its first month. It's like a match 3 game. It's okay.
Meh.
Check it out. The new 3DS XL was a pretty big hit over here in America, so they finally decided to release the smaller version, the new 3DS, which I will point out for people that are saying, why would you even want that? it does keep the aspect ratio more authentic. It has the correct aspect ratio of the original 3DS, so it's not expanding those pixels. It's not upscaling the video. But unfortunately, you can only buy it in two varieties, either in the bundle of the Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer bundle for $220, or you can get the Zelda one for $200. The same price as the XL and limited qualities. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney 6 is coming to the Nintendo 3DS in the West. It just was announced for Japan. They confirmed it is also coming to the West.
Wild Wild West.
Are you excited for this? I love those games.
Yeah, I'm excited. Glad that they keep them going. I like to see any series that is still going, it's still a strong series, get a sequel.
Can I ask you, Justin, do you have any objection to this release?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor. XCOM Enemy Unknown Plus was just rated by the ESRB. What is that? Apparently it's XCOM Enemy Unknown coming to the PlayStation Vita. I'd love that.
I will play it on the Vita.
Good. That's all we know. There's no confirmation that this exists. However, we do know that there's going to be a brand new Vita. Yes, really, coming to the United States, even though it never sells. The Aqua Blue Vita has been confirmed for the US. It will be $199 and it will be available only at GameStop. GameStop. Play the games, goddammit.
And then come back to GameStop.
Yeah, sell us the goddamn games. You're done with the games.
You don't want these anymore. Bring them back.
I love how you get these. I turned off these text messages. I used to get them from GameStop. I'm like, hey, you still got that game? We'll give you $30 to give us that game. I paid $60 for this game. Yeah, but it's not gonna be worth $30 forever.
I remember they used to just randomly call me and say I had money on my Edge card.
What the fuck's an Edge card?
It was whatever they have like their own kind of card there.
The Edge.
But I never had any money. Like, it made no sense unless I was like building interest on that card. Like, they'd be like, you have $7 on your Edge card. I'm like, that's not enough to buy anything.
And I haven't slammed the phone.
I haven't been in there forever, so I don't know where this money came from.
Well, I have bad news. That's gonna do it for Pocket Talk. Let's take the mushroom and remember Steve. R.I.P. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Sounded more like a blooper that time.
Ugh.
Oh, that was bad.
You tell me. Ridiculous. Moronic. But not as stupid as the idiot of the week. This idiot of the week is probably the stupidest person we've had so far. I remember when we had the guy that said Pokemon were making kids gay.
They just get stupider every week.
They get stupider every week. There is a Danish developer called Serious Games. They had a title called Playing History 2, where it was a series of minigames that taught you something about history. They tackled the very, very difficult issue of slavery in America. This, of course, was the African-American Holocaust, which is one of the worst events ever to happen in human history.
Yeah, right after the Jewish Holocaust, or the
I mean, you can't compare them.
Or the Armenian genocide.
Oh my God! Or you even look at Ultra
Black Plague.
Oh Jesus! But this is
this is serious stuff.
Yeah, this is human beings doing horrible things to other human beings, which the repercussions are still rippling every single day in this country. Every single day. Especially
in the Midwest, where segregation is king.
Oh my God, it is. It's crazy. We live in one of the most segregated cities in America. And so it's a very depressing subject. So this Danish developer said, hold on, Americans, we've got this. Let's talk about slavery. Let's talk about the slave ships. And so how do they do this? With Slave Tetris. A game where you had slaves jumping into a ship as Tetris pieces, and you had to stack them correctly.
Would it have been less offensive if they did it as like a Animal Crossing style slave game?
No.
Or maybe,
Slave
Oregon Trail?
Slave Oregon Trail, maybe something that actually makes you go through the process of like working
Underground Railroad or something?
Yeah, holy shit. And so people said, hey, fuck you. What the fuck is your problem? Like, don't just say this. And here's what Simon Engelfeld Nielsen said. Uh-oh. Maybe you're related to this guy.
I am not related, I promise.
Let's make him sound really stupid. He's some Danish asshole. Basically, we removed... This guy's Swiss for some reason now.
Yeah, it's okay. It's close enough.
We removed the Tetris part because it distracted the discussion from what was important and was literally 15 seconds out of 2-hour game. In other words, it wasn't as important for us as a lot of people, so why not just remove it? I know I have freedom of speech, but if yelling banana mean we cannot talk about the rest of the fruits, well, maybe we should hide the banana for a while. You're a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Can you fucking believe
I'll
that?
teach him to hide the banana.
Yeah, that's what I know. He's fucking cracking jokes like, hey, you made this really awful slave game. And he's like, hold on, I'll warm their hearts up with my banana humor.
But wait, why are they making an American history game over there anyway?
Because they're assholes. I'm sure there's a tax loop or some bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Here's what else he said. People are so easy just to jump on a wagon. I think the situation we have where people behave this way is far more worrying than any game that could ever be made. We are going towards a closed society where sensitivity and controversial subjects are not welcome in public because it causes an outcry focusing on motives and persons rather than the subject, which stops at any open debate. You made a game where you take slaves. This was one of the most horrible events in human history. You had them drop into little L shapes and little Z shapes, and it was one of the most harmful things that has ever happened. Something that is still hurting us as a country, and you decided, oh, I'll make a Tetris game. You made it frivolous. Not only that, but you also ruined Tetris. I fucking love Tetris.
I wonder if it's a good Tetris port, though.
Shut up, Dustin. Okay, Serious Games for creating one of the most insensitive, misguided, stupid games I have ever fucking heard of. And on top of that, saying that people are just being too fucking sensitive while you create this shit. Even for removing the game, you say this dumbass shit. I'm getting so fucking mad. You are the absolute idiot of the week. Oh, people are too sensitive. Oh my god.
Yeah, wow, you deserve that one.
Yeah. No. That's not a threat, by the way. This hypothetical person, who knows who that was? He just got hit in the head.
I wonder how old he is.
When he gets out of high school, he's going to really have to start shaping up. All right. We've only got one segment left. My favorite segment of the show.
This is my favorite as well.
All right. Strong history. Let's take a look back and see what anniversaries are coming up in this week. We already talked about the Sony PlayStation, but here's what we've got. 11 years ago, Burnout 3 Takedown was released. My personal favorite Burnout series. One of my favorite racers.
Oh, that's a good one.
The very first Advance Wars to be released in America was released on the Game Boy Advance 11 years ago.
Another good one.
Silent Hill 4 The Room.
Not as good. It was okay.
It was interesting. And over in Japan, Beautiful Joe Part 1 was released on the PS2.
Love it. Glad it made it to our shores, huh?
13 years ago, Battlefield 1942 was released on the PC. Pretty big deal there. 14 years ago in Japan, Shenmue 2 was released on the Dreamcast. 15 years ago, Atari officially merged with Infogrames, officially ending Atari.
Yeah.
Even though they had been revamped and rebooted so many times, but that's really when it was just nail in the coffin. As well as Capcom vs. SNK was released on the Dreamcast. 16 years ago, the Sega Dreamcast was released. The Sega Dreamcast, 16 years ago, with Sonic Adventure, Soul Calibur, Pen Triathlon, Power Stone, Ready to Rumble Boxing, Sonic Adventure, NFL 2K, Hydro Thunder.
No blue stinger?
I believe that was the same day. It just wasn't on the notes.
Oh, okay.
Also worth noting, Final Fantasy VIII was released on the PlayStation on that very same day.
Oh, baby, that was the downfall of that series, too.
Yeah,
I mean, 9 is great.
9 is great, but I hate 8. As well as Ori no Rio, the game I was talking about earlier, was released 16 years ago this week. I thought it was just a really nice coincidence. 17 years ago, Spyro the Dragon was released on the PlayStation, NFL Blitz came to the Nintendo 64, and the very first Parasite Eve was on the PS1. Love that. 18 years ago this week, Final Fantasy VII.
It's legal.
Start smoking. 19 years ago this week, Kirby Superstar hit the SNES in America.
Oh, man. What a game.
And X-Men vs. Street Fighter was released in the arcades of Japan. That would actually launch the partnership between Marvel and Capcom, which would eventually culminate in the Marvel vs. Capcom series. This is a really big one. 20 years ago, the PlayStation launched with Air Combat, Battle Arena Toshinda, and ESPN Extreme Games, Ridge Racer, and the Raiden Project. I love that Raiden Project.
That's a great shooter, right?
Oh my
Is that a
God.
vertical?
It's two of the games. It's 3 and 4, and they're like.
They're vertical, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Some of those in the series are horizontal, I think. It's really confusing. Yes. 21 years ago, and this game never came to America, but trust me, it's great. The Fireman on the SNES. And if you ever played that top-down isometric fireman game, totally good. You got to check it out. And 21 years ago, in Japan, the Neo Geo CD launched with 25,000 units sold in its first day.
That seems like a pretty good day.
It was a good day, but the load times were not. I'm still waiting for my Neo Geo CD to finish loading Fatal Fury. 22 years ago, Super Street Fighter II hit the Japanese arcades. 28 years ago, Digital Devil Story Megami Tensei was released on the Famicom.
Snap, son.
That was based off a book. It was made by a Bancot, so a part of Namco, and eventually would inspire the Shin Megami series as well as Persona, even though they're very loosely related. So that was the very first one, 28 years ago.
Wow, that's a long time.
32 years ago, Ultron Corporation was founded. Some of their most famous games are Pocky and Rocky with Becky, as well as Simpsons Road Rage, the best Simpsons game ever.
Pocky and Rocky's a great game as well.
Robo Pit.
I don't remember that one.
That was on the PS1. And Virtua Tennis. So these guys know what they were doing.
I need to check out Robo Pit.
Oh, you're going to like that. They should put those hard P's in the fucking microphone.
Robo Pit.
And 32 years ago, over in Japan, the original Mario Brothers, not Super Mario Brothers, was released on the Famicom. And that will do it for Strong History.
Wow, that was a tough one.
That was a big one, man. Justin, where can people reach you on the internet?
You can find me at Justin Engelbart on Twitter. I don't use it very often. I probably should. But
what about your dumb internet series?
My dumb internet series is on YouTube. It's called Justin and Colin Are the Game Players. And you just look up. You probably find us under Game Players, actually, at this point. But you type in Justin and Colin, you're going to find it.
Actually, there's a lot of other people called Justin and Colin, I found out.
Oh, are there really a lot of other Justin and Collins, too? Well,
Yeah.
you got to put in Justin and Colin Are the Game Players. But it's on there.
It'll be on your Twitter.
Yeah, and actually, I do have the distinct name of Game Players.
That's not true.
No, I do. I have it on Google+.
Oh my God. All right.
Yeah.
If you say so.
Oh, I'm serious.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Dr. Krychop or follow the PRESSURECAST at PRESSURECASTPod. You can go to youtube.com/videogamesardumb this week to check out my playthrough of Tearaway Unfolded, the port of the Vita game, as well as Super Mario Maker, which I'm really excited to check out.
Oh, man, that game's awesome.
I know, it's going to be so much fun, and I own a Wii U and you don't, Justin, so you'll have to watch me online play it and go, oh my God, so much fun, Justin can't have this.
I can watch videos of people that made levels. It's fine.
Damn it, there's always a loophole.
That's what I've been doing this week, actually.
Fantastic. In between playing Binding of Isaac. You can check out
Absolutely.
on Tuesday. I'm gonna have an article go up on ShepherdExpress.com. That's gonna be like a Cliff Notes version of just special moments in PlayStation history. Like I think it's 5 or 6 points. It's like here's the launch, here's the Nintendo. You know all the history that you really need to know. It's like 5 or 6 paragraphs with a picture attached to it. So I thought I was gonna review Metal Gear Solid, but that game's fucking crazy long, and I've been playing so much of it. But what are you gonna do? I'll have a review of Tearaway Unfolded next week, so I guess I'll make up for it.
I'm excited to read that review, Colin.
Thank you very much. I can't wait for you to read my review.
I'll call you afterwards.
Well, they are going to release Tearaway Unfolded on the PlayStation 4. It was originally on the Vita, which I guess means the Vita is dead, and no one likes the Vita anymore.
I want to play Vita.
Too bad, it's in the grave. But fear not, for the Pressure Cast is forever.
Bye, guys.
PressureCast, weekly video game news podcast, is solely owned and operated by Colin Tanner. Guests of the PressureCast are not employees or freelancers of Colin Tanner, the PressureCast, or VideoGamesAreDumb.com, and are not paid. Music featured on the PressureCast is property of their respective owners, and no infringement is intended. For more information, email pressurecast@gmail.com.
Yakuza, Yakuza 2,
Man.
Yakuza 3, and from the makers of Yakuza 4.
What is this, like a Rastafarian? Yakuza!
It's a game about the Japanese mafia.